It's this is a very expensive metagame. So that's why I recommend, like, if you're free to play, honestly, honest to God, at any age, you could be 13, 12 years old. There's a job out there where you can earn $20. I believe in you.
What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with this week's Rye Report. I got Ryan here. He's excited because he said there are lots of changes in the meta. It's a whole new experience. You're not going to believe what you see. How you doing, Ryan?
Kanadi is the best card in the game, and Amazons are on top.
Really? Okay. I did not expect that.
No,
but seriously,
that's a lie.
You said there's not much going on, right?
No, not really. That was a lie, by the way, because I know someone in the comments is going to be like, "But Ryan, you said Amazon." That was a joke.
Everybody wants Amazons back, right?
Yeah.
Right, because it's pretty much free to play, and
that's what they want.
You can play 3 Onslaught. We want this to be tier 1, but is it?
No, it's not.
Not even close?
No, not even close.
Okay.
No. No, I mean, we talked a little bit about it a lot about it last week on the Rye Report. Blue Eyes is by far the best deck right now in the metagame, especially the turbo build, as some people have come to call it. It's just faster than every other deck in the game. It doesn't really do anything that's too crazy that other decks can't do. It's just fast.
Right, it's just the fastest deck in the game right now, even faster than automats.
I mean, automats can't even get over 2400. You know what I mean? So
right.
3K beaters on the board right off the bat is kind of just way too much to handle.
And they can't really tech against Blue Eyes.
I mean, they like it's Blue Eyes is the same as every other matchup to them, right? They try to go second and win, or they go first, make Bowser and try to stop your opponent from playing and then win. The problem is Blue Eyes can tech Hollowed Life Barrier, and when they're drawing so many cards per turn, they're going to draw Hollowed Life Barrier. So as automats, you have to kind of prepare for that, and they can't, they can't play something like Gaga Bolt into it. They would just activate it in response, and you can't play something like Night Beam because then that ruins your skill consistency. So, it's just not really like it should be an okay matchup for them, just like everything else in the game is. But they can't really seem to get a grip on Blue Eyes, and they keep losing to them, especially in the finals of battle phases. So pretty much, like, it's hard to argue that Blue Eyes isn't the best deck in the game right now. It's just constantly trashing everybody else with very, very little effort, I think, is the other thing they have to keep in mind. All these other decks you have to like think up of, okay, well, this is how I get around this. Blue Eyes is literally the same thing. I'm just gonna spam my Blue Eyes and I keep blasting my opponent, and well, I hope I win.
Well, it's just they can do it so much faster. Like they can do it on their first turn and just win, or what is it?
They can do it if they go turn 1. They can make Spirit Dragon, and then you can't use your graveyard. You can't summon 2 monsters. If you try to pop it, it goes into Azure Eyes. If they go second, they can just bring out a whole bunch of monsters. Your back row is useless. They have Heliopolis to pop everything. They have Vermilion Dragon Mech. They don't even need the Spirit Dragon. And they don't really care about Abyss Dweller anymore because you pop one monster. Okay, I summon alternative. Oh, wait, you pop that monster. Okay, I use Ultimate Dragons. It's just they always have another play ready to them.
Right. Not every deck has that, and they can do it faster and on the same turn. They don't have to wait a turn to do the next play.
Yeah. They don't have to wait and chill. So that's pretty much where Blue Eyes is at right now. Best deck of the format. Second best deck is probably the Water deck. That's just because it's the deck that can play any versatile back row right now. It's because your core of what you play, it's the same thing as Sure. Literally, whatever I said about Sure Nui back in the day, you can just apply it to the Water deck. Their core is so tiny, they can put whatever back row they want. They have Deep Sea Divas, they have Buzzsaw Sharks. Some of them have started playing. We've been seeing an offshoot of what we call Endless Fish Hell.
Yes, I like that name.
Which is not what I would prefer the deck turn into. I'd much rather it stay as the Water deck. But yes, we've been seeing the salvage, Whitefish Salvage card, which is amazing because it lets you add a fish every single turn from your graveyard into your hand, which is really nice. and it lets you use like things like fish depth charge and all these extra traps for extra destruction, and it's cute. If the water deck were to ever get nerfed in terms of its skill, that's probably what they'd all migrate into. I do think the actual, territory the Sharks water build is still the way to go, just because it's so much more versatile, especially with Deep Sea Diva being a really nice searcher, letting you search whatever you want for additional effects. Um, it's just like the border, the baseline of the metagame is the water deck, right? Like this is the deck of Yu-Gi-Oh right now in Duel Links, uh, and it will
It,
probably have the most like kind of median success out of everybody.
I was gonna say, so like Shiranui, as it gets hit in the future, are we just gonna see it run more and more traps? Like its core monsters
Yeah,
get smaller and smaller, and then it's just
probably.
running like 15 traps and 5 monsters, or
That's probably what's going to happen. The nice thing about them though is they have multiple. Like for example, if Diva gets hit, then they have Buzzsaw Shark, right? And they have like more ways of doing that. So it won't be as bad, I think, where Shiranui was literally like the one squire, right?
right?
And then you just
They
wait
had
until you
nowhere
get
else
it.
to go. Yeah,
Yeah. So it won't be that bad. It's just more that because they don't have to run that many um well, it's more that they don't have to run as many copies of a card, right? Because it's all
right.
searchable. They can just replace the rest with really good back row, and then just win the duel off that, or main deck Necro Valley, main deck Shadow Imprisoning, Light Imprisoning Mirrors, stuff like that. Um, and that's a strength, right? Having a small core is a huge strength in Duel Links, always has been. So
Well, running that
that's
many
where they're at.
spells and or traps is also a big strength in Duel Links.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it's been an interesting, uh obviously MST right now is better than Cosmic Cyclone because of all those traps, because of the return of TTH.
Yep.
You just pop an MST, Mystical Space Typhoon, hit a trap card, and turn off all TTHs because now there's a trap in the graveyard where Cosmic would banish, so you wouldn't get anything like that. We saw that be huge in MCS and pretty much every tournament afterwards. So pretty funny considering everyone was on the Cosmic Cyclone's better train for so long, and
Yeah, and here
now
we
it's like
are.
no.
It's almost like it's weird that one card is a direct counter to another card, right? The fates of those
Yeah,
two cards are together. You know what I mean?
it's
If people
exactly the
stop
same
playing
thing.
Tretch, they're gonna stop playing Mystical Space Typhoon. So
Pretty
the
much, yeah.
people start playing Cosmic Cyclone again, then you'll see Treacherous Trap Hole sneak back in.
It's the same exact thing with Floodgate and Kanadi. It's like, bro,
Right.
these aren't the same cards. They interact with the metagame, and if you don't have three of MST, I'm sorry, it's competitive, so you have to go get it.
Well, everybody was saying Rise crazy, telling everybody to get MST, but here you
Uh,
go.
I know, but see, like that's the thing, right? People want things to be bad because they don't want to
They don't have to
invest.
go get it. Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, if it's good, it's good. Like cost
Right.
doesn't matter. If it's good, it's good, And MST is the more preferred back row removal right now because of TTH. And in the future, will also be the preferred back row removal when inevitably these top tier decks get a limit 3 and they can't use Cosmic anymore. You're not going to give up your core. You're going to use your core plus MST.
Right. Well, it's kind of like MST is kind of like Book of Moon, right? Everybody was complaining about Book of Moon
Yeah,
being a pay to
yeah.
win card, but right now that's a top tier card too, right?
MST is definitely not top tier card. It's definitely
Oh, I'm sorry,
it's
Book
like
of
a
Moon. I'm sorry, Book of Moon.
oh, Book of Moon. Yeah,
Yeah,
Book of
yeah.
Moon is Book of Moon's probably the best card in the game right now. It's really strong, and it's
Hmm.
also really strong because of all these turn ones. For example, turn one Bowser, turn one Halberd Cannon, turn one Abyss Dweller. The Book of Moon is just able to deal with all these threats while also still being versatile to use on your own card effects. To prevent karma cuts and stuff like that.
Because like if they go
So
first and you have a Book of Moon in your hand, you don't have to wait a turn to play it. You can just slap that
yeah,
thing down and then
pretty much
you're
yeah.
going.
So like whenever the more generic a card is, it's always going to be good. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Um, for example, when I was talking about MST, people were saying, "Oh, we have things like Galaxy Cyclone, Night Beam," but I'm not using MST to out cards that Night Beam can out. I'm using MST to out the Necro Valley because I'm playing, Thunder Dragons, and I don't want to lose life points, or I don't want to side in a limit 3 card.
Right.
It's like there are more important things to out than just things like that. So anyway, basically what I'm trying to get at, the Rye report, the power rankings, Rye or her versus Circus. The Rye Report's always right. Circus is always right.
Yeah,
Never
that's
doubt,
right.
chat.
Yeah, this is a victory for me too. Oh God, here we go. I'll have to show
Uh,
this one to Herf. I
it's okay.
forgot about
Eventually,
that. Yeah,
when you're right so many times, eventually people will start listening.
right.
But
Eventually,
it's
I
okay.
had Amazons and now Canada and now MST. Right.
Yeah, just keep adding to the list. What else is
3 out of a
there?
thousand isn't bad.
Yeah.
What else has been
Automats,
going on?
I guess.
Automats. Well, we kind of touched that one. Thunder
Yeah.
Dragons. Thunder Dragons.
Thunder Dragons are kind of falling off a little bit. They lose to Necro Valley really hard, and Water is just main decking Necro Valley. Just unfortunate situation
I was gonna
for
say,
Thunder Dragon.
is Water Deck only one that's maining Necro Valley?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
They're the only ones that have so much space that they can just do that, and they don't really care if they themselves get watered off or necroed off. They don't use the graveyard at all, except
Mhm.
for like Hope Woven, and Hope Woven's kind of like that secondary boss monster you summon. He's not really high on the priority to bring
Okay.
out. But everyone pretty much side decks it. Blue Eyes side decks it. Um, and Automats can side deck it, but I doubt you see that many from them. So it's just hard for Thunder Dragons right now, and it's actually funny, they are now more bricky than Blue Eyes used to be, because they have to play all these techs like Cosmic Cyclone and stuff to try
Oh,
and
okay. Try to keep
have
up.
like a good opening. Yeah. So
Well, I was just thinking as you were talking about the Water Deck, we said they were like sharing. Are they also like Gokis? Are they the Gokis of the new meta? Where they're maining Necro Valley, they're
um
maining all these traps. You know,
not exactly, because
not yet, not yet.
Goki was abusing balance to
Hmm.
like guarantee Necro, either guarantee Necro or guarantee, like a Book of Moon or something.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not exactly like that, but it's this a similar play style for sure.
Because I
Um,
had someone in Twitch chat asking me like, "What happened to Gokis? Are they coming back anytime soon?" I'm like,
no,
I don't think so.
Gokis are like officially dead with the balance changes, probably. Well, I
Okay.
don't know. Like they could be okay. The balance changes make it so you can't activate monster effects your first turn or
Right.
special summon. So your Suprex wouldn't be able to special summon. So you would always start off with one monster, even if you have two in hand. So maybe they're not dead, but
They're just not getting
definitely,
any work done.
yeah. Like they're a better control decks right now. Like why would you play Goki when you can play Water?
Right, right. Okay,
Unless you
so
just want to absolutely guarantee the Necro Valley, which
your whole
is
deck is built around. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like in a best of one scenario, like the virtual Kaiba event, right? Kamel went in with Gokis because it was literally like there's no side decking. It's not a best of three, or I guess it was a best of three, but there's no side decking.
Right.
So you know you know what's in his deck. He's not playing any sort of back row removal. Necro Valley, it's over.
Okay, back to Thunder Dragons. We were talking about this on stream the other night. It's probably one of the better, besides Water Deck, that you can get without structure decks nowadays. But you're saying it's starting to falter a little bit. I'd almost hate to see it, just because there's not a lot of options for people that aren't going into structure decks right now.
Yeah, I mean, where did it end up in? Like, it was like tier 2 last power rankings. I'm pulling it up right now. I like, that's
I
not a bad deck, right?
I
Like
think it was
I
like
don't
third
want
or
to
fourth place again. I
I
can't
don't want to
remember.
like misrepresent it and say it's like a bad deck or anything like that, because
Mhm.
it's not. But there's
When you're
definitely,
comparing them to the other top of the top tier.
yeah, like the other decks that are able to make the exceeds, for example. Yeah, so it was tier 2 last
Okay.
week. Um, Compared to the other top tier decks that make like the same exceed monsters, those decks are just more consistent. Thunder Dragons can still play. It's not like they can't. You still see pretty good representation for them. It's just if they're gonna be better in a metagame where there's like a lot of anti-spell traps. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, for example, a lot of people will complain about Six Samurai. Like if Six Samurai came back full power, they'd be way too strong. In reality, they wouldn't. They would immediately fold to Thunder Dragons, because it's like okay, I'm going to stop a spell trap effect. Okay, well, I'm not going to activate any spells because I have like one in my entire deck, and I didn't even draw it because I bricked.
Right.
so,
Or
so who
Blue
cares?
Eyes, right? They'd probably fall to
Yeah,
Blue Eyes pretty quick.
yeah. Blue Eyes would just run over Thunder Dragon pretty much. So
No, Six
it's not.
Sams. I mean, Six Sams.
Oh yeah, Six Sam. Oh yeah, Six Sam would get
Six
absolutely
Sams, even at
destroyed.
full power, could not stand up to the firepower of the
Six Sa-
Blue Eyes.
Full power Six Samurai lost to one set White Stone of Legends. So you know, there's not really much that deck can do at that point. So, it's like hope to get World Legacy Clash. That's your only play. But I don't know. Like Thunder Dragons aren't bad. It's not a bad deck whatsoever. It's just it's definitely not the deck I would go for. It's not the deck I would prefer to go for. Rather, for like consistency.
Hmm.
It's one of those decks where it's kind of hoping that the other top decks kill each other and then try to sneak in there for a victory.
Well, here's a question for you, because we are just brought up the structure deck thing. I mean, you can build Blue Eyes without a structure deck. You can build Water without a structure deck, and you can build Thunder Dragons. Which one would you recommend at this point? Water deck?
Well, I would not recommend the Water deck
Because it's so expensive.
that, and you can't even get the character.
Oh, right. If you had the character, I guess.
Yeah, if you have the character.
Right.
I would personally go like if you don't go into structures, you mean like no structures at all?
Yeah.
I guess
like
the Water
for people that are free to play, trying to build a long-term
because Blue
deck,
Eyes is expensive if you don't get the structure. And then even if it wasn't like the value of the structure like is so good, I would even say even if you plan on playing Blue Eyes, just hold off. Go babysit, go watch the dogs, go mow
the
the lawn,
lawn.
whatever you need to do to go, because the value there is so good that it's worth putting off all that other stuff just to
Right.
get the value alone. But yeah, I guess you could get the Water deck but it's just super expensive.
But so is Thunder Dragons, right? That's what I mean. All
Thunder
the
Dragons is
stuff
also
that isn't
expensive. This meta is a very expensive meta.
right. All the stuff that isn't in a structure deck is like 5 boxes.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
then
I
you have to
mean?
get Book of Moon.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is a very expensive meta game. So that's why I recommend, like, if you're free to play, honest to God, at any age, you could be 13, 12 years old. There's a job out there where you can earn $20. I believe in you, or whatever your country's equivalent is.
Right.
And just go get Blue Eyes. You don't really need Book of Moon. It's nice to have like one or two, but you don't necessarily need it. Every other deck, though, it really does feel like, yeah, you need to kind of spend some big money to. So it's actually hilarious. We went from a very cheap meta, Noble Knights, Desperado, Blue Eyes all being structure deck cards, to now just Blue Eyes being the only structure.
Right.
So kind of funny how that happens on Konami's part. But yeah, that's, you could also, I guess, go for automats, but I feel like automats
Well, you need the structure deck, right?
Oh, that's right. There is a structure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of the stuff structure decks now.
Yeah, I guess that sucks. Yeah, I guess you're going for either Waters or Blue. Yeah, if you listen, don't buy Blue Eyes if you're not getting the structure deck. It's not worth it.
Right. Yeah, because the value is just so insane in that structure.
Yeah, if you were free to play, just save your gems. Save your gems until the meta shifts, and then
it's only 2 months from now. Don't worry, it's only like 2 or 3 months away. It's in April sometime, so you can make it till then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything else? I'm trying to think else. What else has been going on? Like you said, it's just been kind of the same old, same old.
Pretty much. Automats continue to suck.
Yeah, Noble Knights. Are we seeing anything with them? I mean, they're scoring so low on the power rankings.
I think they tied with TGs last week.
Oh yeah, TGs. What are they doing? They're doing nothing. Yeah,
TGs. Right? Yeah, that deck's it's not a bad deck, but it is not the correct meta for that deck to try and live, because it's like a combo deck that wants to combo off hard in a very disrupt heavy meta game with lots of back row and lots of hand traps and stuff. It's just not the correct meta game for it. If it came out only a couple months earlier, it could have been really good. But as of right now, it's just I don't know. It's just not enough. I'm glad it's here. It's really cool, and like you'll probably see them, one or two in the top cut, kind of like the same vein of like a Weather Painter deck or Yosenju deck.
Right.
But I think in terms of being a meta deck, nah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Which is too bad, because there was so much hype around it, right?
There was, because it did look like like making a halberd cannon turn 1. How could that be bad? You know what I mean? And then we saw it happen. He made halberd cannon turn 1. His opponent went Book of Moon. Oh, I guess that's
there goes
it.
That. Yeah.
I just used all of my resources and my entire deck to turbo out this unstoppable beast of a monster, and he loses to Book of Moon.
Right.
So I guess that's the end of TGs.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a pattern right now too, is having to have the right character to play these some of these newer decks, right?
Yeah, I would say that I enjoy when character skills are in the game versus generic ones. Like for example, balance, restart, all those. No one likes those, right? It
Right.
doesn't. I don't like how every new character I unlock has balance. It's like okay, I get it. Everyone has balance, but things like automato play, territory of the sharks. I think territory of the sharks. A lot of people are like now because water is the best deck, right? Are complaining it needs to be
Right.
nerfed. I'm gonna say it the water skill has the best design skill I've ever seen in this game. It's got it can only be used twice per duel, so it's not like a constantly used things like how what was that the Ishizu skill, the one that turned everything to skull
Oh,
servants,
yeah.
whatever it was called. It's not like that where you can use it endlessly.
Hmm.
It's got huge drawbacks, and you can only play waters in your deck.
Right.
So the moment you have lethal on board, that's it. No sphere, no Lancia, no DD Crow, no Temperance, nothing like that. Like you're just going to be able to lethal your opponent. Um, and it's only to that specific character. So I like skills like that. I think that's really well designed, even though it's currently tier 1. It's a little oppressive because of but it's honestly oppressive because of TTH. That's really what all it is.
Right.
Right? Like hit him with a limit 2, deck will be fine.
Beatdown. Do you remember Beatdown? You used to be able to use that every
Yeah,
turn.
and it
Every
used to
turn,
work on
even on your
your
little guys.
yeah, the little guys. Yeah, it was crazy.
That was a broken
So
generic skill.
these skills are very well designed. The only one
Yeah.
probably not is automato play. That one just isn't even translated properly. If it did how it was translated, where the cards that you send back you can't re-add to your hand, that would be cool. That would be balanced. But everything else,
Yeah, being
like
able to
for
send
those
a card
characters,
back to get it back just because you want one other different card. That's
yeah, just
great.
one other card, yeah. But like things like Ultimate Dragons, that's very Kaiba-esque. It helps
Yeah.
the deck, but it's also, very fitting for the character. I really enjoy that. What else is there?
It seems like though if there's a deck that has two cards that work together, people want it nerfed, right?
That's yeah, it's
That's
broken.
broken. That's so unfair.
I mean, like I understand when things get stale, it's not as exciting, especially when
Right.
we're in a meta like this where, one of the best decks is like a control deck. People want like a different metagame.
Right.
At the same time, though, it's people get bored really fast. Give it some time to bloom. Let
Right.
let counters arise. Because at the end of the day, in reality, if Konami never updated this game again, the meta would to shift. Like the meta isn't solved in like a week or two. The meta can, things like, for example, the GOAT control format, the really old one in TCG that they play.
Right.
There's still innovations being made to this day based on that format, and that thing is several years old now.
Right. People
So
figure
if
stuff out. Yeah.
so if you don't like the current metagame, enter tournaments and
And
show
change
what
it.
you can do and change it. Yeah, like it's just play better cards, play better. That's all it comes down
Well,
to.
it's funny because someone in Twitch chat yesterday during your tournament was complaining about how the meta's already stale and they can't wait for the next ban list. I'm like, dude, this meta's like 2 weeks old. We just
Yeah,
started this meta.
we just started. We're in here for a hot second.
Yeah, we got like 2.5 months left of this. You
like
got through April. All right, deal with it.
there's probably going to be a structure in between them. But I don't know, maybe because then the structures have been really good too. So maybe it will change a little bit. But chances are, most of the decks will stay. The only thing that'll happen is a deck gets added to the metagame.
Right, right. I don't.
But
Yeah, I don't. It's funny because people want new decks, and then the new decks are good, and then immediately they call for them to be nerfed. It's like, what do you want us to play? I don't understand.
we got to go back to the dinosaur beatdown meta.
Oh god, that's overpowered. That skill where you get the field spell right away, it boosts your dinos. It's so
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
overpowered.
Sabersaurus is like 2200 for a level 4 summon. That's too much.
Yeah, it needs to be nerfed. All right, so that's the meta. A snapshot of the meta for this week. We'll have to see how it turns out next week. So we're just kind of we're at where we're at, and hopefully we see something. Like you said, somebody figuring something out and bringing something in new next
That'd be
week.
exciting.
Yeah.
Damage step this Saturday, so maybe.
Ooh. I don't know. That's when people that's when they use the tried and true, right? They don't want to bring anything spicy into that. That's when the real money's on the line.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, let us know what you guys think of the meta. Hopefully you're not one of the people that want everything nerfed. Hopefully you're enjoying what's going on. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. So you should get in the Discord because it's free. The tournaments are free. The new player help is free. You should subscribe because only 50% of the people watching this video are subscribed.
What the?
That makes Rye cry.
It does. I'm crying right now.
I can tell. All right. We're going to get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Rye.
Bye, YouTube.
And we'll see you next time.